don't know him, by the way. Hello guys, welcome to our coffee morning for April. Nabbott, Blue Pancake, Tom from Dolphin Dive Productions. It's a little bit chilly here in Norwich, but we're going to power through it.
Yes, we are.
Just focus on Nabbott and see if he shivers at any point in this
No, see which
conversation.
points he doesn't.
I have no padding. I will shiver.
We've got a pretty full agenda to go through right now, so I'm just going to. We've got some next generation console news. We've got Star Wars Battlefront 3, Black Ops 3, and of course the free games you can get with your Xbox 360, Xbox One, and PlayStation subscriptions. So let's kick it off, guys. This new console. I'm going to leave it to the people that know what they're talking about because this kind of goes over my head a little bit. Discuss what is this new console? What's it called? How's it run?
Right.
What is it?
Okay, so Nvidia have decided to kind of enter the console market a little bit with a service that they say isn't really meant to compete with the PS4 and Xbox One, but it kind of is. And what it is...
It's more of a service than a console, because
Yeah.
the hardware that goes with it is like, what was it, $150, I think?
Yeah.
Currently, it's only available in the US at the moment, but...
I think it starts at 200, but it's around that.
Yeah, I think it's at 150 in there, but it's the actual console itself is pretty basic. It's got 3 gig of RAM, 16 gig of storage, which is pretty much nothing, but it's Android based, so you don't really need anything.
So cloud storage. Is that right?
Sort of, it's cloud gaming.
So yeah.
The hardware in the actual console is very basic. Pretty simple graphics processing, and that's it.
But the
Because
thing...
all the...
Okay.
Yeah.
The thing that we're excited about is that it doesn't use it because, well, it does use it, but it gets most of its processing and so on straight from Nvidia, and it's all streamed to you.
The disadvantage with that is the internet requirements, which in this country, they're not great.
Yeah.
Well, what about your internet before you got it upgraded? What was it?
0.2 maybe?
Yeah, mine was
at
0.3
best.
before I got mine upgraded. So
Now
it's
it's
gonna,
60.
do you think it's going to alienate a few people then? Quite
I
a few
think it will
people
alienate
that are
quite a lot. Anyone in the sticks.
Yeah.
It's mainly for cities and places with fibre and whatnot.
So
but
places like internet cafes, if
it's-
they want a console.
the basic, the lowest requirement that they say you can get by with is 5 meg,
Yeah.
which is at a push. They
I
recommend 15
dreamed of 5 meg.
to run 720p at 30 frames a second, which if you're running it wirelessly, that's the highest you can run it at.
Wow.
If you hardwire it, you can get up to 1080p
But you'll
at
need
60 FPS, but you need a 50 meg
meg,
connection.
yeah.
And it's always big news when 50 meg rolls into town, and it hasn't happened that much.
No.
In all
Yeah.
fairness, it took your old village now, but my village Ellington took 3 years of campaigning pretty much to get put on the list to be considered for it, and even then it cost the village a hell of a lot of money. So
Yeah.
it's not something that's going to be widely accessible.
No.
But you know, is it going to be directly competitive though? Are they looking to make it competitive, the likes of the big ones like Xbox and PlayStation, or
They say,
they're not looking to. Yeah, they say that it's going to be providing something a little bit different that's meant to not be edging into that market. But on the other hand, it is going to be fast wireless gaming and entertainment, so it is going to compete because it's providing a similar service, whether it's similar
The question
or
now
not.
is, do you think it can compete?
No.
but what's it competing
I
against?
reckon
then?
it has a slight chance.
Well-
For city gamers who don't want to be buying the expensive consoles, they just want to do it casually occasionally. They don't want to buy all the hardware.
But then PC gaming.
You can buy a very cheap PC, couldn't you? Do PC
Yeah.
for about 150.
Well, you
200
need
quid.
People
to play
have
reasonable
computers.
games. You want sort of 350, 400 quid.
Yeah.
This is $150, which is like 100 quid.
But everyone normally has a PC, which means they usually only need a graphics card, which would be 50 quid.
But laptop people can't do anything.
That's true. Maybe.
It's up in the air at the moment.
It is, and also you've got last-gen consoles like the PS3 and the Xbox 360, which are still extremely good. There's
Yeah.
games on those that I still play to this day.
And they're
Black
still
Ops 2.
releasing
Call of
games.
Duty,
They're,
you know what?
they're
Yeah.
still releasing games though, even like next generation games that aim for the next generation. They're still releasing pretty much the same game onto old consoles. Are they starting up that ritualistic
It looks
sacrifice
like they
again?
are.
Yeah,
Beautiful.
What is it today?
Festival of Colours.
And there's a massive group of people over there
Throwing
paint
paint at each other, yes.
It looks like Nabbott's backpack as well was hit by some of that stuff. As we...
yeah, I know, my backpack has been attacked.
That was probably really noisy because the microphones are in that backpack. 'Cause
Oh,
it's
yes.
quite windy today.
I am so sorry.
have to put up a warning, aren't we? Headphone users, disconnect,
Yeah,
disconnect.
that's probably a good idea.
Sorry, I didn't think.
Carry on,
Yes.
as we were. So, that console, the Nvidia Shield, is say up in the air. We're going to bring more information on that as it's released. And
probably
when
won't
is
be
it
for a
due to be
while.
released? Did you say it was May?
Yeah, May.
May
is when the service is
But is
starting.
that just
apparently.
for US?
Is that fully released? In
US,
the US
only?
or is that for the trial sort of thing?
Yeah, I think so. I think it's free until June.
Service. It's not the
Yeah.
console. You can't apply for a free console, unfortunately, because although that would be pretty cool.
I think Nvidia will probably go bankrupt.
Yeah. So that's that pretty much. I think we've all. I think you've covered most of that sort of stuff that we all know at the moment.
It's Android based. So Android games, is that all it's going to be able to run, or is there more to it?
No, they're
Steam.
All Steam content.
All
I
Steam
think.
content.
As far as I'm aware,
We need to
because
get-
the Shield, you can stream Steam games to it from your PC.
That would be pretty epic,
Yeah, that's why I thought it has a chance at least vaguely competing.
because that means you've got Call of Duty. And
That's all
I
he
like
cares
Call of
about.
Duty.
You just see his face light up. Oh, I could play Call of Duty on that. But we're going to get to the main bit of the Call of Duty a bit later, so contain yourself. Contain.
I'm trying.
For now,
You are very trying.
in our first ever topping one that we did back in February,
that long ago?
it was.
Carry on.
Yeah, we talked about some of the footage and leaked footage that was from Star Wars Battlefront 3. There's a new cinematic trailer that uses the game engine to give you an idea of what it's going to be, and it
Put
looks.
it this way, I saw it and went straight and pre-ordered it.
And this is the guy that doesn't like to
Wow.
pre-order anything.
I hate pre-ordering stuff.
He hate pre-order culture, but
I'm
he
just
saw
against
this
it.
and
I saw
went.
this like, yeah. It looks amazing.
Needless to say, there's going to be video up
Yeah,
now.
the only question I have is the footage. It's done in the game engine, but
But-
it's not gameplay footage.
But
Yeah.
the only really exciting thing is when they do release that gameplay footage. Same with Call of Duty, they can do as many cinematic trailers as they want, but what everyone's waiting for is that multiplayer. How it actually looks, how it actually
It is
plays.
actually done in the game engine.
Yeah.
And it does look stunning.
Yeah, it's not made out of a completely separate, just for the sake of saying, look, this is what we can do. Not really.
Yeah.
And then you'd be hugely disappointed. But there's some things I really want to, because Loz and I used to play Battlefront 2 a lot on
Oh, so
PlayStation
much.
2. And
We
there
should
was
do some more of that.
We
We'll
should
probably do
we'll
some more of
probably do
this.
some more of this in our PlayStation 2 memory series. If you haven't seen it, video.
Link sort of here, maybe.
Well, yeah, somewhere around
Yeah.
there,
Okay.
as close as I can get. But what that game did was it opened up from Battlefield 1. It opened up the battlefields, made them bigger. This one, Battlefront 3. If the gameplay, if the cinematic to be anything to go by, again, all speculation. They've got vehicles that are now unmap locked, if that makes sense. They're like the Atat waters used to be only in Hoth. Now it looks like they're going to be in other maps as well. Space battles on Battlefront 2 were the only game mode you could use the X-Wing, the TIE fighters and all the
Y-wing
cruisers and
all
that.
those things.
But now it looks like from this trailer, this cinematic gameplay trailer, they're now going to be bringing vehicles in like Battlefield into the actual land-based battles as well. So it's going to open up, hopefully, again, all speculation, hopefully it's going to open up into a proper Star Wars cinematic film-based
Also,
game.
it looks like you can jump.
Yeah!
Jumping in a video game.
Although they have copied Advanced Warfare with the boost jumping.
Have they?
Yeah, they have.
Is that only for the jetpack people?
I mean, Boba
The
Fett.
people, the
Boba Fett.
specifically jetpack people.
Yeah, I know. But to go what everyone on Twitter is saying about
Boba
games,
Fett's dead.
I know.
Just to, you know.
But everyone that says that games copy games, yeah, Star Wars, they've been copying games now. Star Wars has only been around for what? I don't know how many years it's been around for now. But they've copied every other game in the market of all time ever. So there you go.
I'm just glad it's coming.
I had to say that because it pisses me off when people compare games to other games. I'm sorry.
I'm just glad it's coming out. And do you reckon that they decided to release it because Disney decided there was
I
going to be
think-
more
We were
Star Wars
talking about
films?
this
I
earlier.
think they've had a talk or a little tweet here and there where they've said, do you mind or do you think it's possible to release this around the same time? Because coming up to Christmas,
It is incredible marketing tactic.
Star Wars frenzy. I mean, just to give you a figure, when the Han Solo and Chewbacca trailer was released for the actual
I've
film,
not seen this yet, so
you
no
need to see
spoilers.
it. They turn up. A bit late for that,
Yeah,
but
I know they turn
their
up, 'cause I've seen
market
the
share,
cast
Disney's
for it.
market share went up $1.2 billion as soon as that trailer was seen. As soon as that trailer was released, their
Wow.
market share just went went up. So they're doing something right.
Yeah.
Their shareholders are like, just like, money. And the rest of us are like, Star Wars! It's a little bit, but hopefully, as long as it's not a flop, they're going to do extremely well. And if they do release the game slightly before the films, of course, we're all going to buy the game, anticipating the film, or vice versa. And like you say, it's an extraordinarily clever marketing tactic from them. And as you can see from the trailer we put up, it just looks stunning, and I can only hope it translates into the actual game. It also looks like there's going to be different playable species for the Allied forces, not something that you actually got in Battlefront 2. And also, I think there's going to be new guns and say
they'll probably be the same guns, just reworked.
Well, the shield was something that something cool, wasn't there was before. Again, in the films though, there weren't actually that many guns, were there? Different types of guns. There was one, red lasers and
there's about 5.
And at the very end, Darth Vader turns up. So it looks like you're going to have playable heroes again, which was something that made Battlefront 2 stand out for me.
Yeah,
there's nothing better than jumping around like Yoda, just slicing up stormtroopers. This game as well, coming into now, because of course when Battlefront 2 was released, internet gaming wasn't really a thing then. You could still play with co-op.
Split-screen gaming.
Split-screen gaming for the win, but you couldn't really play online with anyone.
Do any of these people know what split-screen gaming is?
Leave a comment below with an example of a game you played with split screen. Just so we're interested to see. But what's really good about this as well, it's coming into the era now with the Call of Duties and the Battlefields have really brought on the multiplayer experience. And now if I could have that multiplayer experience in the Star Wars universe, I can't wait. Now we're going to move on to something that Nabbott really likes.
It's not.
I could add on more reallys, but we would have had Black Ops 3 has been bandied around a little bit.
Right. Over to Nabbott.
Nabbott, would you care to talk about the new marketing strategy, actually, that they've used to make people aware of trailers and things?
Yes.
Go on, this is all you.
I would.
I've been waiting for this.
This is my moment. I'm actually...
Oh, I'm sorry, that's all we've got time for today. I'm joking. Go for it. Right.
You're not going for a run again, are you?
Black Ops 3 is going to be exactly the same as Black... Can we have some soulful music in the background now? Just he's going to hit me, isn't he? I can see. Gonna hit.
So,
please don't laugh with your mouth full of crumbs. That would be right. Okay. Sorry. Yes.
oh, I'm freezing cold. My nose is running.
Black Ops 3. What is it?
It's a game, Tom.
It's a game.
It is a game.
It's a Call of Duty game.
It's a Call of Duty game. You see his eyes
Do you want
light
to
up.
finish your biscuit before you start talking?
You see his eyes. You see his eyes light up. He's like, "Oh, Call of Duty, new game."
No, that's the biscuit.
He's been lit.
No, that's my people starting. Yes. So, Black Ops 2 recently received an update, and the update made very, very minor changes. What it did is it changed 2 of the posters in the game.
Ooh.
One of them was on Express, which is the futuristic train map with the train that always runs me over.
Yeah.
And the other one was on Plaza. And they're quite well hidden. The Plaza one's actually within the map. It's towards the A flag side of the map, I believe. And it's just like one of the... There's so many posters on that map.
Yeah, I know, so yeah.
But what they did is they changed these posters slightly. They put a Snapchat symbol on the posters, and it was a Snapchat QR code. So if you actually take a picture of it with your phone on the Snapchat app, it will subscribe you to Call of Duty's Snapchat account. And they've been releasing little Snapchats over the last few days. And they also recently released a teaser trailer. And what got me very, very excited was the bit at the end where they just expanded it into a Black Ops 3 logo. They were very unoriginal with the logo.
They were.
I've got to say, I do love the convoluted marketing strategies, the Snapchat thing. That's quite clever.
It is pretty cool. I think Treyarch usually do a good job of building up to their games.
Well, that's the thing, like Rockstar and other big companies have always outshined Activision and Infinity Ward with their marketing things. Usually,
Rockstar wipe the floor with people.
Well, usually Infinity Ward just release something like, "Oh, here's a sound wave. Guess what it is? Okay, it's an airport. Yeah, we get that." And everyone pretty much got it straight away.
Russian?
But the amount
of God, let's not talk about no Russian.
But
let's not remember the newspaper highlights.
Yeah, seriously, Twitter has exploded, didn't they, when Black Ops 3 released these updates and people found out what it was, and they all subscribed to the Snapchat account. And whenever Snapchat they release another Snapchat, Twitter just goes, "New Black Ops Snapchat," and everyone's talking about it. It's really, really clever.
Yeah, they're quite bizarre little Snapchats actually, though.
Yeah, they're like
look at them?
Yeah, they're like a meditative sort of thing with like. It sounds like they've always played in Black Ops with a mind-altering sort of aspect of Cold War.
Yeah,
and I think
Don't they used LSD in the Cold War, Tom?
No, but mind-altering.
Yeah, let's not talk about the experiments that the CIA did.
Yeah.
Which ones?
Yeah, all of them. There's not enough tape, and it will be confiscated and would be thrown in a dark hole somewhere.
Yeah,
probably Slough.
In fact, we're going to have to cut out that part.
What part?
We didn't just talk about the CIA experiments
We're okay.
I think we're good.
Carry
We're
on.
good, yeah.
Okay.
Everything went quiet afterwards. I was like, shit. I was expecting helicopter blades just to start in the distance. Oh, fuck.
Just a Harrier
Everyone's
flies over the
overlapping.
head. It just hovers there. The AC-130 comes in.
It just comes in over those trees in the background. It's like, oh, fuck.
Captain America
Thanks,
turns
guys.
up.
It's been nice knowing you.
Yeah.
It's been interesting.
Yeah. Anyway, so the other thing about the trailer was all made using like digital data and numbers and stuff, just like flying around the screen.
What do the
But
numbers
people-
mean, Mason?
Yeah, the numbers, Mason. What do they mean? And actually, the numbers do mean something. People have managed to extract 2 sets of coordinates from the numbers in the trailer, and they relate to 2 different addresses, which give us an idea of where the game is going to be set, and because of that, when it's going to be set.
How do they know this?
How do they know this?
How do they know that's actually what they mean?
What the coordinates?
Yeah.
Well, it's all speculation. It could be knowing these Snapchats. They're going to be jumping around the globe, going. There's an event here. There's going to be something happening here. Because Call of Duty's renowned for globetrotting, aren't they? Without any specific reason why. It's like one guy's here, one guy's there, one guy's here. It's just an excuse to go around the world and fight in different places. But Black Ops
usually has the most interesting locations.
Yeah.
They've been to Kowloon,
Cuba.
Yeah, all of like those Cold War destinations were all really interesting, but then also some of the ones in the future were quite interesting as well, with Yemen.
Oh yes.
And yeah, lots of kind of things. I think there was some on US soil as well, wasn't there? Or was that Modern Warfare?
Modern
no,
Warfare.
that was Ghosts.
Ghosts was set on. Modern Warfare 3 did a lot of US based, sort of like downtown, and Detroit's on Advanced Warfare. But yeah, they've always.
Yeah.
But Black Ops was really the first one to explore those war-torn areas like Yemen that aren't always given the spotlight in the news because it just happens all the time. So it's really interesting to fight in those locations, and the buildings, the architecture is really interesting to look at, and offers new ways of, like, was it Favela on Modern Warfare 2?
Oh, Favela was a great
Was one of the
map.
greatest
That was
maps
a good
ever
map,
because it
yeah.
was based around an actual, city and how those cities are actually made up. But it made for such a good level of gameplay that it really took off.
They took it out of the playlist on Modern Warfare 2 for a little while.
They did.
Yeah, because there was some writing found in one of the toilets on the levels that no one had found offensive before, but...
The feminists probably played it.
No. It was related to Islam, apparently.
What was it, offending Islam?
Yeah, I can't remember exactly what it
Why
was.
can religions not take a bit of a...
Again,
bit
we're
of
not
spin?
going to go into this.
Yeah,
We don't have
yes,
enough
bit
tape
analysis.
because,
Yeah.
and we don't have enough subscribers to afford to lose any. We can't afford to lose any.
No, we'll-
Please come back.
We'll send it to Amazing Atheist or those channels, it's fine.
We'll burn him for you. Oh no, that's done. We'll save you the time.
I'm not an American flag. Carry on.
We'll burn him and steal the camera.
But it's not... Yeah.
I find no flaw in this. I do burn and I have a camera. Roger.
Anyway, back on topic.
Yes.
So yeah, the 2 sets of coordinates that were found in the trailer, they relate to 2 locations which you wouldn't usually... Well, one of them is, and one of them you wouldn't expect to see in kind of war-y kind of scenarios. One of the sets of coordinates related to Cairo in Egypt, which, given kind of recent goings-on...
Makes sense.
It kind of makes sense because it is a war-torn area. For some reason, Black Ops 2 in particular like to kind of draw attention to areas where there is war at the moment. Like,
And
there
then
was
it's always
some-
about CIA or that American underground influence that's kind of either pushed them in one direction or another.
Yeah.
So I can imagine they're going to play on something with
I
that.
mean, some of the flashback missions were in Afghanistan, but I was thinking
Yeah.
of Yemen there again.
Yeah.
But Cairo, obviously Egypt at the moment is in a little bit of turmoil. It's not exactly stable right now, so it's interesting to kind of see Egypt as a location that's probably going to be in the game. But the other one is quite surprising indeed, and it's actually, the coordinates relate to an address in Zurich in Switzerland. And I'm not sure if you know about Switzerland's kind of war history, because the thing is, it really doesn't have one. Switzerland tends to be a very neutral country.
Yeah.
It doesn't tend to be invaded, because to invade Switzerland, you have to cross the mountains. And the mountains are where they will be shooting you from. And also, Switzerland technically has the largest army in the world because every adult male has a service pistol. So once you get into Switzerland, you will have to deal with every
Everyone.
single man. So yeah, people don't tend to go after Switzerland too often, and Switzerland doesn't really tend to go after anywhere else too often because they have all the money.
So they are, despite not being a war-y type of like, we don't need to declare war on everyone or we don't get involved in other people's fights, they do hold an awful lot of power then in such a remote place.
Very much so.
So they have a lot of American interests. They have a lot of an interest of other major countries there. So again, it could be an undercover operation or something like that goes wrong, and then you
can't really
blast
see
the
a
country
war.
up.
I can't really see a war scenario in Switzerland. I don't think this is going to be one of the missions which has Harriers flying everywhere and rubble in the streets.
Paratroopers dropping in their thousands.
It'll probably be a very covert thing.
Just because I can't... Yeah, it will be a covert
or it
mission.
could just... Or not even a mission, it could just be something to build up the story and build up the atmosphere. You know, you've got everyone is now maybe trying to influence power in remote parts of the world.
Actually, I think it's going to either be that or it will be the other extreme. Where
Modern Warfare 2, Modern Warfare 3, jets and helicopters falling out the sky.
This is a really cold coffee.
I was more thinking about the plot in Modern Warfare 3, where Russia launches attacks on all the big European cities. It will either be a very covert operation, or it will literally be most of Switzerland has been bombed. That's the two scenarios which I can kind of realistically
I hope
see.
they go covert route, because I'm sick and tired of the stereotype, sort of like, here's the end of the world.
Yeah.
In 3 consecutive titles with the same characters within like 10 years. And it's like, but again, this is all speculation. This is what Treyarch do so well. They throw out ideas, they throw out little tidbits, and then the internet sort of explodes a little bit. Implodes on itself a little bit, and then as they release more, people generally get an idea. So we're in that sort of mid-range period now, aren't we? Before they actually do any proper gameplay trailers, they're now just giving us stuff to think on and chew over like we're doing now. But what I'd like to see is in Black Ops 3 is something different, like Advanced Warfare did very well with the boost jumping. Very simple, one mechanic that really opened up the maps and opened up the gameplay a lot and offered something completely different. What can Black Ops 3 do? Because, of course, if they go back to the original sort of Call of Duty multiplayer way, that's now going to be new, because we've had a break from it from a year. But
they will get complaints.
They will get complaints. So I don't know how they're going to... I don't know what gameplay mechanics... They can't use the boost jumping again.
From what I've seen on Twitter, most of the hate at the moment seems to be directed towards boost jumping, so I can't really see them doing that. But if they don't have a new mechanic, then they're going to just fall back to the same complaints about Call of Duty getting stale and not doing anything new. But the one thing that really interests me is in the teaser trailer at the end there is the silhouette of a guy, and the guy is clearly wearing some kind of mechanical kind of structure across his arms. And there's been speculation on this on Twitter. No one's really sure. It could be an exosuit, but most people seem to be under the impression that it's some kind of like cybernetic enhancement or something like that, just to lend a little bit of extra strength or something.
Or maybe just jump further, or be able to... You know, rather than boost jumping,
rather than vertically, it could be horizontal, dashing and things.
Well, you did
and
dash,
that's the other thing. This is nothing official as far as I'm aware yet. But what people seem to think is going to happen is that there's going to be some kind of wall running mechanic in the game, which I think would be quite cool. Wall running.
Oh, wall running. Okay.
Yes. So
hardcore Call of Duty. I mean, really, the multiplayer Call of Duty 4. We'll use that as a base. What, 2004? No, 2005, 2006, something around there. 2007. They've been doing this a while. So they should have seen a pattern emerging with the games. They should have seen ways that they can make it without having to release patches and nerfing guns and annoying people. They should be, by now, able to... And the playable beta.
Yeah.
A playable beta would
fix so many problems.
It would fix a lot of problems, and it would bring attention to problems they probably never foresee before.
They're not going to do it.
No, they won't. That's the annoying thing. I know they won't. The last one they did was a World at War.
The fan base is too large. Yeah. They won't have the service to... Well,
they don't offer it to the whole fan base. They do a lottery system.
No, not a lottery system. You do it
but then
early pre-orders. People that are clearly that want the game, pre-order it.
But there's so many pre-orders, you lottery the pre-orders.
Yeah. That's the only
really
fair way
looking forward to the trailers.
When do they usually do it? Is it coming up to summer?
I'm pretty sure there's a proper trailer coming soon, but
really?
I can't remember exactly when the date is.
Yeah.
Date on the screen.
Isn't it nice the way we can do that?
Yeah. Here's also all the other information you need to know about the Soviet war is in the link below.
Yeah.
This is amazing. Anything else you guys want to draw attention to?
The best muffin recipe.
Ooh.
We sort of ever hear.
Yeah. I'm going to have to do a lot of research.
None of these links will actually be in the...
Of course, in our coffee mornings, we like to make you aware of some free games that you guys can get with your PlayStation, Xbox subscriptions. This month is no different. Xbox, I think, have won it. You'll see why when I say that. PS4, you can get Aris.
I never thought I'd hear you say
I
that.
know, but Aris Awakening and Never Alone are two atmospheric, indie-looking games, very artistic in sort of the sense that you're not really. It's like a side scroller, and it's very pretty, but it looks fairly simple. I think it's there just to show you what the indie developers can do. Of course, PlayStation 4 and Sony like to take on indie developers and make their work free to download, so then you can see what they can do, which I think is a really nice thing to do. It's a really good way for them to get their name out there.
I really like pretty platformers though. Like,
Yeah, some of them are.
they can be.
Well,
really,
Flower
really
was
good.
a really good one.
Not Never Alone, that's the one you just mentioned.
Yeah. It was
Limbo.
Yes, Limbo was good.
Yeah.
And actually, we also got Tower of Guns, which has been described as a hell of a lot of bullets. So yeah, I'm downloading that one, so you can expect maybe. I'm looking to do. I say I'm looking to do new things all the time, but maybe a 2-minute review on some of the free games that are coming out. So I play it, then just give you a brief breakdown of what the game is like. Just a short 2-minute bit, just so you can see what the games are like to be offered on Sony, not Xbox, because that's where Nabbott's going to come in. On PlayStation 3, you can get Dishonored, the full game, for free. Dishonored got a lot of good reviews. A lot of major YouTubers did very good playthroughs of that, so it's a game worth downloading, especially since it's free. You've got nothing to lose, really.
Yeah.
And here comes Nabbott's Xbox One. You've got Child of Light, which is a very sort of, again, atmospheric. So you've got video on the screen now of all these games, and all the links to where you can download these are in the description below. But it's a very sort of like emotion-inducing game. A lot of YouTubers have said that they don't want to play it through again because they won't get the same reaction from them. It's one of those games that you play through once and go, oh my god, that was brilliant and really thought-provoking. Hello, dog. Right. Pool Nation FX is, if you like pool and pub games, then you can download that for free. This is where I find it funny. People are saying they're not supporting the 360 anymore. That's a lie, because these next 4 games are really good games that are now free on your 360. You can get Gears of War Judgment, Terraria, which...
Terraria,
Terraria has been described as the 2D Minecraft.
It's a side-scrolling Minecraft.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
Far more artistic.
Yeah, and it's as long as you're not playing on your own, I think. I play it with some friends quite a bit, and it's really quite fun.
Cool. Assassin's Creed Black Flag,
the full game.
The full game for free.
For free.
Usually costed $29.99. And then Army of Two, which Loz and I love. Devil's Cartel.
We haven't done a playthrough of Army of Two,
we're going to do Army of Two. 40 days, is that it?
The second one.
Yeah, second one, Army of Day.
We've got Army of Two, number 2.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And although Devil's Cartel is not one of their most popular titles, again, it gives you a really good idea of what that series is like, and it's just good fun. Lots of guns, lots of customization. The characters and the story are brilliant, and it's a co-op campaign, so you can play it with a friend all the way through, and it gives you rivaling scores, and it's just good fun. So those are your 3 games. I think that about wraps it up. Thank you so much for joining us on our very fucking cold coffee morning. I don't know how Nabbott hasn't frozen into a pot yet.
I went from tepid coffee to iced coffee in about 5 minutes.
Yeah,
I'm actually in a state of rigor mortis right now.
We'd have to pick him up and carry him back.
I'm not actually talking to you right now. These are just random mouth twitches.
Yeah, we're doubling him in from the studio.
Yes.
Bad lip lip syncing, isn't it?
I am Nathan. Well, I don't know.
No, that's it. Thank you so much for joining us, and until next month, stick around, and we'll see you then. Woo.
Avoiding any technical hitches this time.
Don't do drugs, kids.
Unless you're cookie based, then do them all you want.
Is sugar a drug?
Sugar is a drug. So is coffee.
Coffee is a drug.